It's called borikat.
What is borikat?
Borikat bread.
That's bread?
Well, borikat is. You really want to know what it means?
That's fucking bread, bro.
Hey,
When you said, "Hey,
did you make that, bro?
Zeke, did you make
Zeke.
remember when I said? Remember 10 seconds ago when you were like, "I don't like flies on my borikat."
Yeah.
You were actually saying, "I don't like flies on my prostitute." Borikat bread. Borikat means prostitute.
It does?
But you should taste it. It's delicious.
I love prostitute bread.
Is that? Let me ask you a couple of serious questions. Is it made by a prostitute or is it?
It's made by honey.
So,
So
it's
it is
made by a prostitute. Got it. Great.
Yeah. Made by a prostitute.
If you guys don't already know, Honey is my sister and Juliana or Rudy's mom.
Honey,
This is
Han,
Rudy's
come
mom.
here.
sit here.
This is Rudy's
Present
mom.
the borikat.
Yeah.
Hold the mic. Okay. Headphones?
Yeah. Look at
You're
her. Look
all
at her.
nervous. Hi.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you know Rudy from Bad Friends. This is what spawned Rudy, right? So this is the knife queen, right?
Wow.
You like knives too?
I don't know.
Okay.
Han.
She's just like Rudy. Just like I don't know.
Closer to the mic, please. Yeah, perfect.
Han, can you tell us how a borikat is made?
It's just
Yeah.
plain bread with sweets.
Okay.
Here, you want to taste it?
No, not yet.
Can we
This
tell
is-
everyone where we are first?
Yeah.
This is very...
I don't know where the fuck. Okay, I'm going to say this, right? Literally, I was like, we're podcasting today, so I thought we were going back to that resort,
The mansion?
the mansion. And then they're pulling over. I'm like, why are we pulling over here? Not that I love the area and it's beautiful. This is like the La Jolla of
It's still so good.
of Philippines.
It's
Right.
great.
Yeah, it's really nice. You know what I
Beach
mean?
town, yeah.
Yeah, it's 7-Eleven. This is 710.
Sorry. Didn't get the one. Didn't get the extra one.
Yeah.
Do you not see the sign outside?
What does it say?
It says Honey's Bakery.
So this is your bakery?
Yeah.
Okay. You're a fucking baker? Anyway, so then they pull over to the side. What are you looking at?
Uh-oh.
Noodle
Flat
Dick.
smile. Flat smile.
Hey, Noodle Dick, what are you looking at? Anyway, Noodle Dick's here, and it's good to see him. But then we pull over the side. I'm like, why are we at the 710? And then I realized I saw the cameras and all that stuff, so it's like we're shooting in here.
Do you want to taste it? It's actually
Not-
really
we'll
good.
do it later.
Okay.
We'll do it later. What's the other thing next to it?
The other thing next
No,
to
no,
it
on the
is
other side.
banana Q.
This is bahog-bahog.
What does baog
Wait,
baog
wait.
mean?
Bread pudding.
Oh.
That's bread pudding.
Yes.
What's the white stuff in it?
It's just different kinds of bread mixed all together.
You know what it looks like from here? Gravel. like something that you find on the street. And then what's the meat portion of this?
It's not meat. It's banana Q.
Banana
Oh, I can eat that.
It's
all day.
caramelized
I can eat that.
banana.
I can eat that all day.
And then this right here. Oh my God,
Not
it's
eating that.
benignate.
I'm not eating
It's
that.
benignant.
This is so good, Bobby. This is right up your alley.
Tell them what it is.
This is like stewed banana. This is like
Delicious.
like the tiny little boba things you like.
I just want to also let everyone know. Hi, Issa. Good to see you. I'm not making fun of the food. I'm so blessed to be here. I love the people. You know what I mean? I like that man's breasts. What's up, bro?
Oh, Loloy?
Is that Loloy?
No.
The guy with no shirt on.
The
Who's
guy,
that?
the guy with the white shirt, his name is Renz.
Yeah, but who's the guy
That's
with no shirt on?
Pakit.
Beckett?
Pakit, he's my cousin.
Oh, yeah. I like his breasts. Can you tell him I said that, or will he stab me?
Nani, tell him, scream it in Bisaya.
Pakit!
Beckett!
Ganan siya si mong totoy!
He goes, yeah.
Yeah. I want to memorize that. What'd you say?
Ganahan siya.
Ganan siya.
Ganahan ko.
Ganak ko.
Ganahan
Ganahan
ko.
ko.
Sa.
Sa.
Imong.
Imong.
Totoy.
Tatoy.
Oh, look, babe. Tiki.
What's that?
A baby lizard.
Holy fuck, this is like Jurassic Park in here. This is crazy. I've never seen that's like a mini dinosaur.
Look behind you. You want to do a review of the products?
Yeah. So this is, I can read English, brown coffee.
Uh-huh.
That's how it comes in powdered form.
Brown coffee. Yeah.
Brown coffee's in powdered form here. This right here is magic sarap.
Uh-huh.
What
Magic
the fuck
setup.
does that mean?
Sarap.
Merrick syrup?
Magic
syrup?
Delicious.
Is that Magic Delicious?
Yeah, it's all-in-one seasoning.
Yeah, this one right here is some Asian kid winning a trophy.
It's Alaska fortified powdered milk.
That's great. Anyway, I'll never eat that. Do you mix that with water?
You do, yeah.
So if I bought magic syrup, what's this magic?
Sarap. And no, that's for cooking. Magic
Okay.
sarap is just seasoning.
Okay.
Alaska fortified milk.
All right. So if this Alaska,
Milk? You know, the classic Alaska fortified milk.
I always ask at Starbucks for the Alaska fortified milk.
Sir, what kind of milk would you like with your Americano?
You have Alaska fortified?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let me get that.
But can you a non-powdered form, please?
Oh, yeah, we'll get it, we'll get it.
Because sometimes you put the powder in there, and I don't like it.
Would you like a side of
It's chalky.
prostitute bread?
Yeah, you do have prostitute
Yeah,
bread.
we have prostitute bread,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Thank you.
Can I show
more
this?
blood than more blood?
But they're
please.
prostitute?
Yeah, I want more blood in it. Yeah.
Okay, here. You know why it's called prostitute?
Oh my God.
Just guess.
Let me guess. Let me guess here. That's the vagina. That's what the vagina looks
A
like.
certain time a month, yeah.
Oh fuck it. Oh God, that was the visual I don't like.
But taste it.
I don't. Not yet, not yet. You taste it first.
I thought you said you wanted prostitute.
It's really good. Honey gave me some. It's delicious. It's a good bread.
It's so good, Bobby.
It's such a
I'll
good
taste
bread.
it.
Come down to Honey's Bakery.
Come on down. Let's go.
It's good. Try some Alaska fortified milk with it.
He's so dramatic.
And I'm not.
Let me hand.
No, because
really good.
Okay. The first thing I taste is sugar.
Yeah.
So it's very sugary.
Yeah.
The bread is soft.
Really soft.
It's delicious. And let me say something. Let me say something to you, honey. Your mother, Meritus, bakes as well. And so you're influenced by the mother. And, I've never had that bread before. I may never have it again. But I have to say, if I were to have it again, which will never happen, right, I'm going to love it. And you know what? I'm going to call Starbucks corporate office
Yeah.
to see if they can have that in the little
Wow.
case. What do you think?
Okay.
Yeah? Okay, good.
Look, they have everything here from paper. They have
But did
soap.
you really own this store?
Sorry.
Yeah, this is hers. It says
This is yours
Honey's.
to store.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Is the gecko a part of it? That little lizard that's over there? Or have you named him yet?
Yes, for sale.
He's for sale. Anything in there is for sale. Is that kid for sale?
If he
Yeah.
wants to.
3,000 baht.
3,000.
That's what he's worth, this one. Oh, I'm going to put you to work. You're going to make shoes for me, buddy.
Oh, Z.
Yeah. No, we have fucking sewing machines. Yeah, and Skinny Dick's going to be there too, man. But you're not going to be working. You're going to be on my bed. I just need someone to cuddle up
Yeah,
with that
yeah,
night.
yeah.
Anyway, Issa, you good? Hello. Good to see.
Hi, Masi.
Oh.
Good to see you.
This is my auntie, my Tita Lucy.
So Meritus is your sister.
Yeah.
That's great. Can we do the countdown so
do
we can
the
start the
Yeah, yeah,
show?
yeah.
We haven't really even started the
Look
show.
at fancy outside.
Jesus Christ.
A colonizer hiding.
Colonizer. That's what happened hundreds of years ago. You guys hid behind walls.
It's
And
good.
stared
no,
in.
keep it there. It's tasty.
As I have to stay here?
You don't have to. It's up to you. It's up
Why,
to
you
them.
don't
We have
wanna
some
be here?
questions for you.
Okay.
We'll
Yeah.
intro first.
Yeah, we'll intro first.
Yeah.
Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Beep, 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 beep. Welcome. Remember when I was mad at you?
Yes, of course I want to talk
Can we
about
talk about that? When I was mad at you.
What?
How mad?
Oh my God, he's
I would not.
me.
Oh, I wanted to end her. I wanted to end her
I
fucking
haven't
career.
begun-
Oh wait,
That's
was it
so
the
fun.
Chelsea thing?
Yeah.
Oh, I know this story.
Yeah.
I can't wait to talk about it.
Yeah. So I want to say this. All right. I literally had to think about think about it before I even brought it up.
Yeah.
So it's so
It's been a
far
long
in the past that I don't even think about it. Right.
Yeah.
And number two, I love you a lot.
Yeah, I
okay?
love you too.
I fucking hated you. All right. And I wanted you dead. And so we do the. I would like to hear your side of the story.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm oblivious, by the way, of him being mad at me. So we go into. I mean, now I know, obviously, because he screamed at me publicly in front of so many people.
Did I
I was
really?
so
Did
shocked.
I really?
Yes, in
Yeah,
the hall of the comedy store, I was so surprised. I did not think you were mad at me. Okay, so doing Chelsea lately was the most stressful fucking bullshit. I mean, I've never been more nervous to do anything in my life because it was just very tense. Like I get there. I've never met Chelsea before. I think I'd done it like 2 or 3 times by the time I did it with you.
Yeah.
But when I first did it, I didn't know Chelsea. I was flying in from New York to do it. They were like, don't look at her. Like, don't look her in the eye, but look near her. And don't and they're like, make sure you jump in, but don't interrupt Chelsea. And like all these things, like they had all these rules and it was very stressful. And I had not been on TV before. I was like,
Can I interject real quick?
Yeah.
I want to just add on.
Yeah.
May I?
Yeah,
Okay.
of course.
The reason why it's stressful, okay, is that you don't you shoot at 2:00, and you have to go to Universal City, right?
Right.
And sometimes at noon, they don't have the topics yet,
Oh, it's so stressful.
right? And then all of a sudden, you get these topics, right? 5 things that have happened, right? And you have to quickly come up with 5 angles or jokes
On each topic.
on each topic, right?
Can I get a shout out?
Yeah.
Because the last 2 years you did Chelsea, he would not wake up until like 45 minutes before, and he would have Nick Youssef and I wake up really early,
Yeah.
just waiting for the fucking topic,
Yeah. To
so
do-
we could write his jokes for him.
Yeah, right. So, all right.
Oh my God, the power dynamic.
But in a show like that, right? Like if you do David Spade's show, for instance, what's it called?
Lights out.
Lights Out, right?
Yeah.
You can say a joke and then you can turn to whoever and go, "Can I say that over again?"
right.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Yeah, take it as many times as you want," right? And they can just fill in the laughter,
Right.
right? But with Chelsea, you have to say it perfectly, or she'll rip you apart.
And she'll not ask you back. Like she'll be like,
Or she
done.
won't ask you back, or there's all these other things that are at play. So now you're there, right, in front of a gigantic studio audience. It's
So many people.
So many people. It's hundreds of people.
And by the way, always like a couple of my bank tellers and stuff, I always brought random people. If anyone recognized me from Chelsea, I'm like, do you want to come?
Yeah.
You want a picture? They're like, we're good.
Yeah. And so you're there, and then here's another thing is when you come up with your bits. Sometimes this happens, right? You get a writer and you have to pitch them the bits, and meanwhile in 10 minutes you're on air.
And they're doing you're not even a girl. The girl, I'm in full makeup. They're like, close your eyes. I'm like, I can't. They're like putting eyelashes. I'm like, I haven't written comics yet. They're like, are you ready? They're like, we're micing you. I'm like, no, you're not. You're not putting the mic on.
Right. So you're about to go out, and then somebody will come in the room and go, "Yeah, so and so's already doing that joke." But then you're being pulled onto the set. You go, "What do I do then? What the fuck do I?"
And then you're like, I would have it folded up. I would have my notes folded up.
Yeah.
Trying to like memorize. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my god. And
Yeah.
you can't, like, I'm
God.
looking down.
Yeah.
They're like, don't look down. I'm like, but I have my notes are there.
Yeah. In fact, one time Chelsea wasn't there. Wanda Sykes was there. T.G. Miller and I are on the panel, right? And we remember going, like, she's there. They're about to go. And me and TJ know Wanda Sykes. We turn to her and we go, "What's up, Wanda?" And she goes like this. And that gesture fucked me up.
Wait, why
I go, "I don't know what I'm doing now.
did she do that to you?
I don't know why."
Was she mimicking Chelsea?
I think maybe that's what she thought that the role was.
Chelsea would be so different with me every time I did it too. Like
Yeah.
one time she would like because I didn't know her at all. It was so nice for her to put me on. I cannot believe she put me on the show.
Yeah.
And so I was like, we're walking down the hallway, and she's like, "Hey, girlie," and she would like tickle my stomach and be like, "Mama," like, "Oh my god, I can't believe this."
Yeah.
Like just little old me. I was like an open micer, like, "Thank you."
Yeah.
And then other times she'd walk down the hallway and she'd be like, I'm like,
Yeah.
was I invited here?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I have to also say though that without it, in that chunk of my life, right, I wouldn't have had the numbers on the road.
It was amazing.
It was amazing.
amazing.
It changed my life, and we're grateful. We're just complaining about the stress.
It was just so stressful. The timing of it, because Chelsea at that point, I mean, I don't know how early you did it on. She was so kind of over. She didn't want to do more takes, which actually made the show hilarious.
Yeah.
Because she'd just be fumbling through the thing, like, whatever. And they just put the thing up. She called me Amy Lieberman like 5 times.
Yeah.
I think she might even call me Amy Schumer. I was like,
Or let's cut to now the day we do it.
okay, so there's all this stress and the okay, so I don't remember the topics or the jokes or anything, but I remember it didn't go well. Okay, I remember when we got off.
You can say that again. You can say.
Well, I figured out what it was when I watched it. I realized what I didn't realize about the way you were delivering the jokes, because I was always waiting for. You have to jump in. If you don't jump in, with you were famous. Okay, this was like all I had, so it was like so.
That's all I had too.
No, I agree with that. I'm not
Okay,
saying,
okay.
No. I just am trying to explain, like, I didn't have any like
I get what you're saying. Your
experience
perception,
on camera and
it's
stuff.
perception of me. Your perception of me, you know what I mean, is different than the perception I have of myself.
Yeah.
And maybe you're in your head. You're like, well, this guy was on a show before, right?
No, I didn't realize that you were okay. So when you delivered your jokes, you would tell the joke, possibly do an act out, and then you would look at the camera and you would hold a look. And that was like, the laughs would like, it would kill, right? I didn't realize the look holding. So what I was doing was I was so obsessed with my own getting the jokes out. I would hear a pause when it was you were like continuing to deliver the joke, and I would think the joke was done. So then I would jump in to get the joke, but I was cutting your joke off.
Okay, can I say this?
Yeah.
Okay, that's correct,
Yeah.
right? But what I saw,
Was a fucking.
no. What I saw was this. Okay, I would wait because I know that you were jumping the gun.
Yeah.
So I waited for you to do your joke first.
Yeah.
Right. You would do your joke first, right? And in my head, I'm like, okay, I got the two guys out of the way.
Right.
Right. Now it's my turn to do my joke.
Right.
They already you get one shot. Right. So halfway, the first time, right? I wasn't even able to tell my joke. Because
What
you
was the
said
joke?
you did your joke. I forgot who the other guest was.
Yeah, who was
And
it?
then it was my turn to talk, and you did a second joke.
I wish I had a joke to interrupt you with.
I know, but you had a
now,
second
but I
joke,
can't.
and then after your joke, Chelsea goes, "Okay, now we're going, commercial break." Right. So then now I know. Now I know we have to go to the next topic, and so in that fucking chunk, I said nothing. Right. And so I turned to I turned to Michael Cox, and he comes up to me and goes, I know, I saw. Oh. And I go, what the fuck, bro?
Oh no.
That was my strongest one. That was my strongest one. Right? And he's like, I know, but you can't. You just deliver. Get out in the
my
first.
God, Bobby,
you know what I mean? In the
so much
first,
better than I thought.
In the second half, just get your first joke out. Right? I know, but everyone thinks I'm a fucking retard because I didn't even say anything. Right? So now
You'd have an external locus of control.
now we're
Yeah,
back to right.
Sorry.
So I go, okay, this bit is I'm going to pause and do the punchline, right? Because the first one is obviously just a setup, right? So I do the setup, right? I do the pause. She goes right in. She goes right in, and I go, what? Right? No laugh from me.
you,
Because
your
I see the punchline, right? She goes right in,
We're
right?
getting
Then
them now, at least.
and then the other comic does it, right? And then all of a sudden, commercial break. Michael comes up to me. Michael's sweating now, Cox, because he knows that like my eyeballs.
Why didn't he tell me?
What? Because we don't know. Because everything's moving so fast, right? Everything's
Yeah.
moving so fast, right? And now I'm whispering things like, I'm gonna kill her.
That's so. And I have no clue.
She has no idea. She has absolutely.
What's the next topic? I'm like, I hope I remember my jokes.
So then the third one, right, was the worst one, and this is not your fault.
I mean,
The third one's not your fault, right? So mind you, right, I'm on this whole show. I haven't said anything funny yet. And I've been on camera for about 20 minutes. Yeah.
Just premise.
I'm just a guy that's just sitting there, right?
oh my God, the sinking feeling when the commercial break comes is really, it's like unmatched in life.
Yeah.
Like when you haven't gotten your joke out. Wow.
I'm literally also having thoughts like, maybe I could just, work at the store. You know what I mean? Like not just a doorman, but like, maybe promotions, right? Like I'm thinking
Your whole
like,
life is just-
my whole life is flashing before my eyes, right? And the third one, I'm about to tell a joke, and they do a thing where Chelsea just interrupts me, and she goes, "Fortune Feimster." She's not even on the panel, right? I think Fortune Feimster comes out in like a lingerie or something and does a dance. It was a bit that like no one was told about,
So you
right?
didn't even know.
So the whole show, I fucking ate it. And then I remember thinking to myself, I hate that girl, Annie. She's my number one enemy.
Wow.
I have a lot of enemies on the wall, right?
Yeah.
But like, she's my number one. And then what did I say to you at the store?
Oh, and then like we get like, okay, so we get off stage and like, I know it didn't go great, but I'm like, whatever. I'm just sort of like, I don't like, at this point, I'm not feeling fully responsible. I'm like, we all kind of didn't have a good show, but I also didn't think it was that bad.
Yeah.
And then Cox was like, wow, that was a rough one. I was like, and then I was like, oh, like the lights got darker. And I was like, oh my God, we bomb. My parents are going to watch. This is terrible. And then, so when I see Bobby at the store later at night and I go, oh, that sucks. Like we didn't do good. And he was like, yeah, fucking did it. Like, I don't know that, but it was like, and I was just kind of like, had no clue. Like, I just had no clue. I mean,
right.
I just like am wild. There's no,
Because it was pent up. It was like, I had it just in my chest.
and everyone was like, I was like, Bobby, I'm so sorry. I would never. And you're like, you're supposed to make everyone look good. And I was like, I would never. And you're like, you are trying to make me look bad. And I was like, I would never try to make you look bad. I
Right.
swear. And it was like that kind of
How long? Yeah. How long did it take for me to get back? Because I feel like,
To be friends again?
yeah, I feel like what you did was the right thing. You did the same thing Tiffany Haddish did.
what?
Tiffany Haddish, we've talked about on the show when she was here, that she betrayed me, right? And then there was a relentlessness on Tiffany Haddish's part to get me to like them again.
Do you think I did that?
I think you did. I think there were times, right, socially, right, that you.
I just didn't know you didn't like me ever, so I was just treating you regularly.
Oh, is that what it was?
I just thought you were mad at me once.
Oh, in my head,
I was number one enemy.
No, in my head, I'm like, wow, she's crafty.
Really?
No, I'm not
She's probably
crafty.
thinking, right, we're all cool now. But in my head, I'm like, wow, she's saying hi to me and flicking my.
That's where the self-centeredness comes in. That's what I tell you. Like you have these hang-ups about you think people are thinking of you,
Right.
and they're not. Everyone's just moving about and doing their own shit.
Wait, were
Right.
you mad at me when we did the NBC thing?
What NBC thing?
Remember when we did Finesse Williams' NBC thing? Remember he was doing oh my God, this is how much you work, you piece of shit. This is how successful you are. We did a whole
Who's
taping.
Finesse?
SNL.
I love him. No, I don't remember that. But
Okay,
what was it?
freaking out. You were like, because you have a thing where you're like, this is my last job. Every time you have a job, you were like, I know. You were like,
I know.
You're like, oh, the execs are here. Am I bombing? It's like, I
Yep.
mean,
Yeah.
the screaming, am I bombing? A little bit is bombing, kind of, but no.
Yeah.
I think you pulled your dick. I think you did get naked again, but it was like, it was one of those like they
Yeah.
showed us a video and we made jokes about
Right.
the animal video or something.
Because, but I'll tell you
I wonder if
why.
you were mad at me.
I'm only like that in jobs where it's like this wasn't a part of my dream, right? Panel shows were not a part of my dream. It's not my skill set. You know what I mean? I've always wanted to I like acting and I like sketches and I like being big and controlling things, you know, and also showing my muscle, right? Doing panel shows. That's why the David.
Is that what you call your dick?
What?
Your muscle?
yeah. My muscle, right? That's a good one. But so the finesse thing, I don't remember it. But what happened?
You just were like freaking out, running around, clothes were coming off.
Yeah.
We're having a breakdown. You're like, oh my God, this is a big network. I'm like, Bobby, I think it's fine. You're probably going to get several more TV shows.
Yeah.
I think you're fine.
Yeah. But
When did you start liking me again? How recently?
It took a year.
Oh, okay.
That's
That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it took about a year and a half. I just remember forgetting,
Oh.
you know, and then seeing around. What I also like about it is observing you. I like to observe you around other comics to see if other. This is so gross. I
I want to hear it.
I'm going to tell you, okay? But this is a gross part of my personality.
Ew.
And I know it's disgusting, right? But there's also I like to see people's trajectory. You know. Okay. Let me.
I remember
let me know.
watching you say on this podcast before. You were like, I like to know where I am power wise with people, and I was like, he's never thought I was close to him. That's what's so funny.
Yeah.
Do you remember when you brought me on stage once and you were like in the OR and you were like, wait, go back. Like you started to say my name, and so I started to come forward and you're like, no, go back. Why are you up here already? And I was like, oh, so I went back and they were like, you were like, why would you listen to me? Jesus, I was just fucking with you. Come up and I was like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah.
Like alphaed me so hard in front of everyone. I was like, oh,
I'm
hello,
sorry
audience.
I'm
No, it was funny. I liked it.
Yeah, I'm
I think
sorry
it's
for
funny.
that, but
Don't apologize.
dude, I've always been like that, and I remember that's why when I started in San Diego, a lot of local people didn't like me.
Like the people you could not meet.
Yeah. So Henri. I think Brad Pitt's one of those. I don't want to meet him.
Yeah, but Henri's really great with fans because I
I
have
don't
a
give a
couple
shit.
friends who have like hugged him in pictures. Like I know he's super gracious with fans. So you missed the opportunity.
Here's the thing: if I saw LeBar James or any of these other guys, right?
Labar.
What's his name? I don't even know. Like old timey blacks who we did the first thing with. Was it Warren Sacks? I don't care. I'm sure he's a nice guy, and I'll go barbecuing with him or go fishing.
He loves the fish.
I know. I can tell.
You could tell?
Yeah, he's old timey.
But you know, this is how it feels. Like imagine if someone were to like butcher like Sir Alex Ferguson's name and it was like, who the hell is he? Or like
I respect them. I know if I saw LeBron James, I would just bow, respect. I go.
You have to apologize to Warren Sapp for saying his name like that.
Warren Sapp. I know who he is. I just
No,
think
it's not
a joke.
plural.
There's two of them. There's not two.
The twins. The Sapp
Warren
twins.
Sapp.
Yeah.
And he's a legend. I Googled him, and I understand.
Okay.
And I love him. And if I saw him, I'll give him a big hug.
Okay.
And I give him his props.
Yeah, he's
Oh, yeah, he's Heisman,
didn't win the Heisman.
whatever. But all those things.
Yes.
All those things that they do.
Yes.
I understand what it is.
Super Bowl champion.
Huge.
Yeah.
Huge. Bigger than I could ever imagine.
Yeah.
All right?
Okay.
What I'm saying is.
TR.
it just-
Sir Alex Ferguson.
I didn't say Sir Alex Ferguson.
Oh, okay. I thought
He's not he's not, no, because he's a Manchester
right.
United
He's not an
guy.
Arsenal. I know. But
Right.
so
No,
who
so,
from Arsenal?
Arsene Wenger, I don't think I'd ever want to meet.
Is there anybody in Hollywood?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Brad Pitt. So here we
And?
go. Barack Obama, I would never want to meet.
What's up, Barry? You wouldn't?
No, Barry. No, Barry.
No?
No, I wouldn't want to meet him. I don't ever want to meet. I mean, it's such a. Oh yeah, here's another one.
Okay.
I don't think I would like what Sebastian does. I don't think I'd ever want to meet those greats.
Like the Pesci.
The Pesci, De Niro,
Pesci,
Pacino.
yeah.
You know what I mean? The greats.
You say it like my dad. My dad used to go. You know who's a great actor?
Yeah.
Joe Pesci.
yeah.
Who said it like
Yeah.
that?
I don't.
Didn't you meet Lou Reed?
I didn't meet him. I chased him down the street.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I didn't meet him.
Insane.
I saw him. I was like, ah! I screamed. And I chased him down.
But see, he's one of your number one.
He's dead.
So
I know, but-
Scorsese, would you be like, I don't want to meet him?
No. And I would. Yeah. I would. I probably wouldn't even probably do his movies even.
What?
If he offered you a role,
You wouldn't do a Scorsese?
Well, I've
movie?
never seen an Asian guy in it.
There's probably one.
Give me one
There
Asian
might
guy-
be one more. I think
Give me
you can do
one Asian guy
more.
that's been in a Scorsese movie.
Well, there's one of them took place in like the railroads. I
No.
think. No.
There's no railroad Scorsese movie.
Which one?
The one about the Dalai Lama.
There you go.
Boom.
Wait.
Yeah,
Boom?
you're right. You're right.
What do you mean? Scorsese did a movie about the Dalai Lama?
Yes. This is.
What was it called?
It was like in the 80s or not.
Yeah, it's like a.
I don't know. You have to IMDb it. It's.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, about a Scorsese
100%.
movie that people's seen.
No,
Like a classic.
It did well.
Okay.
It was solid.
Kundun, Kundun.
You've seen that.
It's fantastic.
You have it. So let's think of. But there's some stars. You know what? You're right though. I think I could because when I did, first of all, Borderlands trailer came out today, and I'm in it.
Nice.
So thank you. So when I did that movie, there was a bunch of stars.
Who do you play in it?
Just a
Asian guy?
soldier.
Oh, soldier guy. Okay.
Yeah. But I'm in it with a bunch of big stars, and when I did it, I wasn't intimidated at all. Kundun. Oh, I saw that. And he's Asian.
He is Asian.
Yeah.
As an Asian.
Yeah.
What if he asked to recast that right now with you?
As like-
Would you not
as a
do
kid
it?
Let me see if I can do the face.
Kundun.
There he is.
Right?
Yeah.
Kundun older.
Kundun
He's in the
older.
city now. Things aren't going well. You know what I mean? It's a romantic comedy. He's a virgin. That life's past. Right? Let's do that. Anyway, we got to go, but Tom Segura, give him a...
Wait, whoa.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't drink anymore, but I'll tell you this. I'll be honest with you.
Yes.
When I went to the after party at the MGM Grand,
Yeah.
we went to the after party,
Yeah.
and I was walking around, people were drinking Osos. I had a friend there too that was drinking
Yeah.
Osos and stuff, and I asked her, I go, "How's this vodka compared to all the vodka?" She goes, "You know, quite honestly, Bobby, best vodka I've ever had."
Yeah.
And I was walking around the party, and I have to the atmosphere with Osos. I've been to vodka parties before, dude. I'm not even smiling. I'm not even doing a joke. I know you guys are going, well, what the fuck are you talking about?
No, I'm listening.
I've been to parties and bars where they've served the vodka, right? I've never been to more of a merry, charismatic, joyous party than the one that you invited me to.
Thanks.
And it's all because of Por Osos, Vodka Coast, Texas made, my friend.
It's a real deal. Some people were like, oh, you just threw your name on a thing, and they don't know that.
They're
like-
rude.
Well, they're rude. They don't get that, like, you can do that. We were approached to do that, where somebody just goes, here's the thing. You want to slap your name on it? We did it the other way, where we developed the vodka, we developed the branding, the bottle, the design. We went through, like, dozens and dozens of different options. So we made this from ground, from nothing. Built the whole thing up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly what you did.
Yeah.
Like the Millennium Vulcan.
We made it happen, dude.
Yeah.
I
Because
hope people like it. It goes on sale in March, California, Nevada, Texas, and Florida.
Oh, can I say nothing about the Osos?
Yeah.
Your staff
Yes.
was the nicest staff that I've ever worked with.
Really?
Yeah, they were always, because I was always lost. And whenever I saw the Osos, they would go, "Oh, come here. This is the way to go to the bathroom and stuff." No, they just a kind. I'm being real. They were just a really
Good.
They made me feel at home. So what I'm saying is the whole company is great.
Good. I'm glad you like it.
Yeah. And
I'm the one on the left.
have you? I know. Have you ever fought? Last question. Have you ever gotten in a fight with Bird, like a screaming match?
Screaming match, no. Disagreements where we have to sit down
And have a talk.
Talk, yes.
And to hash things out.
Yeah, and it always works out that way.
Good.
It's a good way to like figure things out. You have to just.
Anyway, I gotta go. He's gotta go. Give Tom Segura a round of applause.
Thank you.
Ay makabulol Purong kaya madugdug bombola Syukumuki ay ito Syukuluki muki sa laman Feet ang bukugani ay makabulol Purong kaya madugdug bombola Syukumuki ay ito
Not anyways.
I'll do it anyway. Let me change face. Let me change face, okay?
So creepy.
It's so creepy. Here's another thing I love about you, and you just take it, okay?
Okay.
Is, stand-up comedy is something I started with in 1995. I signed up for open mic. I'd never done anything before, acted, nothing. I just walked off the streets and signed up at a open mic in San Diego. And I started doing it. I went up every night, bombed for years. And I got to a point, moved to LA, and I did all the rigmarole and all the things that you need to do. And I got to a place where, oh shit, I can audition for shows now. And I got on the Tonight Show and I did all the things, right? And so, I feel like I am a organic, stand-up.
Sure.
Okay? And, as comics, when we talk, right, we see actors and other people from other fields, right? Crossover and do stand-up, right? And it takes a lot for us to give that person its rightful credit and go, that person's a stand-up now. Because I know thousands of people actors and other people that have crossed over, and I went, fuck that guy should not be doing it. But you're the type of stand-up that you should be doing it because you proved your worth.
Well, thanks, man.
And I'll tell you why I say that. It was one night you were at the store or whatever, and you were talking with a bunch of comics, you were hanging out. When in my head, I thought, it was not a question that you shouldn't be there. You know what I mean? Like, I looked at you like I looked at Whitney Cummings or any of these other people like, oh, cool, Steve's here, my friend, a comic, right? A long time ago when I saw you staple your nutsack at the Mint, right, back in the day, right, I wouldn't even fathom that I would even accept that. Like, there's a rare case. You are like that. Obviously, Theo Von, because Theo Von didn't come from, a stand-up. He had to change, or he had to reinvent himself, right? And you did, and I knew this also when you invited me and Ian over to your house, because you were working on your first special to give you notes. And Ian and I still talk about it, how we respected that you wanted our, notes and your help with your special. It was like, I just, my hat's off to you. I was going to see this earlier on the podcast, then you attacked me about the fucking and I literally thought to myself, I'm not even going to say this fucking bullshit in front of this fuckface. But then I decided to fucking do it anyway, because I really do mean that, man.
All right.
How do you feel about it?
I super love you. I super appreciate your kind words. I really, really do. I loved that you were willing to come over to check out this. And if I recall correctly, it was like, I think it was like a week or 2 weeks before I was actually going to tape the special.
Yeah.
And I had you guys come over. I asked you to come over to view like the last show I had taped,
Yeah.
Oh, what should I do? And you were like, hey, man, maybe next time, why don't you let's do this a little fucking sooner when it's not like next week. You know? Like, and I also remember too that, you're being very kind because, dude, I wasn't ready to fucking tape that special.
Oh, you wish you hadn't done it?
It wasn't that I wish that I hadn't done it. It was just that, there was a lot that just, for where I was at that time, it couldn't have come out any better. But where I was at that time was very early in the process.
Yeah.
And here's something that I had I have a lot of regret about, which is that the very thing that we did that night, sit down and watch a whole set, was something that I recoiled at the idea of. I think a lot of stand-up comedians have a lot of difficulty actually watching a video recording of their performance. It makes them uncomfortable. It makes them uncomfortable. They don't want to fucking do it, and it's the most important fucking thing that you could possibly do. And it's actually recklessly irresponsible to avoid playing back your performance and watching it. And here's where I got really fucking lucky, is that after I taped that first special, the one that candidly I was not ready to tape, then I just got about to putting together my new hour. There I am on the road, and I'm putting it, I'm like, okay, no more sex stories. Now I'm going to get into like the actual, there's some interesting shit. And I'm telling these crazy stories, and it's all working reasonably well. But one night as I was performing my set, I had this fucking thought, holy shit, the stories that I'm telling in this new hour, like for the most part, all happened on camera. So, oh my God, what if my next special is a stand-up special, but as I tell these stories, the footage of the stories actually happening is edited into it, so it's multimedia.
Yeah.
Be the world's first, as far as I know, multimedia stand-up comedy special.
Yeah.
My head exploded. I got so fucking excited. Right away I fucking went about recording my next big show in a theater. And I had to fucking see how this was going to work. So I took that footage of the show, brought it into my computer, and I just started editing it to take the fucking, put it together. And that forced me to not only watch the footage, but to study it, because now frame by frame I'm plugging in the footage of the stories happening, and I'm impossible for me to do that without watching the footage of the stand-up.
Yeah.
And as I was doing it, there was just so many things that drove me. Yes, it was uncomfortable, but as I was watching myself perform the stand-up, like, I fucking hate the way I do that. That fucking insecure, laughing at my own joke, like, look, come on, it's funny, right? Like that shit. And like just little fucking things that, and they bothered me, but I was studying the footage, and you know what? And then I go back out on the road and I started addressing these things. Nothing brought about the progression, the improvement in my stand-up performance, like at a faster rate, more than.
You know what, dude? You just fucking, because when you were talking, I got so insecure because I've never seen me do stand-up.
But I mean, dude, you're great.
But I've never. Here's the thing, I need to get better. We all have that. I see the holes in my stand-up. I see what I need to improve on, and I'm so afraid to look at myself. And I think once we slowly get out of this pandemic, I'm gonna start doing that.
I mean, I think it's huge. And I remember when you and Ian were in my living room, we watched that set. Like
that was brave of you to do that.
Well, I mean, it was reckless to not do it sooner.
Yeah.
But I remember Ian. I forget what he was pointing to, but there was something. He found a very kind, diplomatic way to say, "Dude, like this, some dynamic about what you're doing in this performance is really fucking not working."
I think I remember that.
Yeah.
I think I remember going. I think I remember going to, like, kind of nudging Ian and go, hey, no. Don't staple your nutsack to your fucking.
He was completely fucking right.
Yeah.
He was very kind the way he said it, and there wasn't time for me to make these fundamental changes in what it was.
But
doing.
I think that normally, back in the day, I think we wouldn't have come over there if we didn't think that you were, putting in the work to do it. I think, I don't want to name names, but there are people, that are still doing stand-up that are crossover, right? That I wouldn't go to their house to help them because they just don't have. I think what it is stand-ups. You could have been a stand-up if that's what you started with. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I mean, sure.
You just found this other way to express yourself, right?
I think that, again, thank you. And I believe that
Polite.
I believe that my motivation in literally everything that I do is pure because it's driven by the fact that I am such a needy attention whore. That's all there is to it. That's the secret to what makes me tick. I am a fucking needy attention whore. I will shove shit all the way up my ass for attention. I don't care. And so it's the same, whatever that is, whatever that is that makes me so just hungry for attention, it drives me to the stage to get on and perform stand-up comedy. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
And, it was when I first started doing it, it was a real departure, man. In the beginning, I was like, okay, I did all the jackass stuff and now switching gears, now I'm going to do stand up.
Yeah.
And I would do some tricks, some stunts in my shows and stuff, but I was really legitimately just, okay, now I'm gonna fucking do what it takes. I'm gonna go for it. I don't care if people believe I should be doing it or not. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go for it. I'm all in. And then, it was only when my head exploded, I'm gonna fucking do multimedia on my next special. And then I got to starting to record new stuff and build stand up out of that. And then, and I only just put this out, this multimedia stand-up comedy special. It's called Gnarly, and I put it out on my own website, and I'm fucking thrilled with it.
So people can watch it now.
Right now, it just came out.
Can we get into that?
Suck it the fuck up.
So let me ask you
It's
this,
a
Whitney.
war zone out there.
All right, so Whitney.
That's what I hear.
So what do I do? Should I get not anytime soon, but
Also, nobody's sane is going to date either of you given this situation. So it's already.
What do you mean?
It's the matter of so Nick, so my best friend, who I dated before, he lived with me. I mean, he is my biggest priority. Anyone coming in to date either of you has to understand the other person is going to be the biggest priority.
How do you explain that to your new girl?
You can't here's the.
I never even thought about it.
You know what it is? It's like having a kid, being like, look, you have to meet my kid. I can't let you meet him too early, but if that doesn't take. So for me, when people date me, I'm like, they just have to meet Nick as soon as possible. If they don't vibe, if Nick doesn't there's no point in going any further.
I see.
But it's I feel the same way always with my mom, in the sense that if my mom doesn't like my girlfriend, I can't make it. There's just no way it's gonna work, right?
Sure.
So it's now
she would have to be very patient about the fact that we do slip up. We do still kiss on the lips. You still call me babe. We do watch The Boys together every night.
Okay.
We still sleep on the same bed.
That's
a hard thing.
But in a world eventually when you move out, right, and you have your own place, still I think that would be a thing where I would have to go. If I'm on a date with a girl, I have to go. Just FYI, my ex-girlfriend is my best friend, and we do a podcast together. And
I think they'd probably know, but
I know. But what if they don't?
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Then date someone who speaks English and has a Wi-Fi connection.
Right. But I would have to
stop dating people that just got out of underground cults.
Yeah. I would have to.
Everyone's gonna Google you. Everyone's gonna know.
Right. And I just have to say that's the situation. And then they probably ask, well, is she there all the time?
Here's the irony. The irony is that, it is a giant red flag for me if guys aren't friends with their exes. If guys don't speak highly of their exes.
Right.
If they're like, she's a fucking psycho, she's a con,
That's a big red flag
to
for
me. You're the
as
common
well.
denominator in all these psychos. What's going on? So to me, there's nothing more. This is why I love, before the guy that I'm dating, I got, he's younger, but I really only wanted to date married guys with kids before that had a lot of respect for their child's mother, because that's just so attractive to me.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm only going to date married guys. They know how commitment works. They know how to stay amicable and respectful to someone that they spent 10 years with. It's a fucking huge deal. And there's gonna be times where your new guy, you're gonna go have a problem, or girl, whatever, I don't see gender, where you're gonna go I'm having a problem, I need to call Bobby.
Yeah.
And a man's gonna go, what the fuck, those things are gonna
I envision a world where 3 years down the road, she has a boyfriend named Tony, and I'm calling, yo, Tony, I can't hang these shelves up. So you come over. He's like, hey, dude, hey, bro, I'm with Kalai right now, bro, right? And I go, come on, Tony, come over.
I envision.
He comes over, right? And then we're and they go, hey, let's play
Oh no, you're gonna recruit him into gaming?
Let's co-op on Stardew Valley. You think so, bro? I go, yeah. And then we co-op. And then like 6 months down the road, I'm sucking his dick. You like that, Tony? I like it, dude. I like it.
Pretty good, dude.
Yeah. I think that we're the first culture that's like, that book Committed by Elizabeth Gilbert. She wrote Eat, Pray, Love, which I didn't really get. But this was about how in every culture, like what marriage means, what relations, and we're like we're the only culture, America, like this sort of Western civilization, we're the only ones that involve love at all. For everyone else, it is a business thing. It's about like land, and I need someone to be able to watch my kids, and I can't afford to move out. Like it's such a no one expects to be like in love all the time. We're the only people that are like every day I need to have butterflies. It's like for most people it's just like a business, Right. And I talk to friends of mine that don't do what we do for a living, and they're in these marriages that are miserable, and I'm like, why don't you leave? And they're like, I can't afford to. Like, where would I'd have to like call the phone company and separate the bill, like it's just it's too entrenched. Like we can't, So,
well, why didn't it work out with Nick?
Well, I was a kid. I mean, I was young. I was not yet like integrated or realized as a person. I was codependent, unrecovered Al-Anon, and very much addicted to adrenaline and having to chase someone and force someone to. Basically, he was emotionally unavailable at the time. He had a really intense trauma when he was a child. That is like one of the ones you just don't come back from. I think you guys both get that. Lost someone in his family. In front of him, saw it happen.
Oh, wow.
And he just, there's certain traumas that, if you were to do like 20 years of psychotherapy, you might be able to build some neural pathways, but it changes your brain forever. Right. And he's just, shift. And then he had cancer later in life just from like stress and stuff. And then being raised by parents that had lost a kid is very hard because when parents have lost a child, it's the child that is surviving. It's very hard for anyone to console anyone because everyone's in so much pain. Right. So it ends up being just like emotional neglect, and they say something like only 90% of couples that lose a child end up breaking up because there's just there's so much anger. Why weren't you there? Why it's just you can't move past it. Like the only way out is to just move on and just try to pretend it didn't denial, And so so he was not able, like neither of us were really able to have any kind of intimacy. Neither of us had healed these invisible wounds. So it was just kind of the perfect way for me to cut myself by like chasing him around. He was like everyone in Hollywood wanted to date him. He was like this big screenwriter, and just because he didn't want to commit to anyone because he didn't want to invest in anyone and then have the inevitable pain of a breakup because he was just pain avoidance. Right. And so I just was obsessed with him because it made me feel like shit to like chase him around and and then ultimately it was like we're soulmates. We're meant to be best friends. We weren't meant to date, but I didn't know how to start off in a platonic relationship. I thought the only thing I had to offer the world was sex or my body. So it didn't even occur to me like this person that makes me laugh so much that I just want to be around all the time. Like we could just be friends.
Maybe we misread the cues up front.
No.
What do you mean?
Like, when we first met, we had that strong feeling of like, why do I feel so like deeply like bonded to you even after the first date?
Trauma.
Right? Yeah, I think, but we didn't really talk about the.
I just think that subconsciously that you just find your person that you relate to on that level. I feel like you can just read them. You know what I mean? In a sense, you know what I mean? And I think that's what our initial bond was.
It was like a comfort, right?
A comfort, yeah, right. We hate the same things, authoritarian figures, you know what I mean? That's also, I think, a result of, because my dad was such a menace, right? That's why I hate Trump so much. You know what I mean?
Neo-Nazi Theo?
Yeah, I don't know why I keep looking at neo-Nazi Theo when I say
I hate Trump so much.
I always look at you. I don't know why I always look at you.
Or is Theo Nazi Theo? We don't know.
Yeah.
But what I'll say is, sorry, I don't. This is not my place to say, but I don't think you have to like pathologize yourself for having fallen in love. It's not like I had trauma, that's why I loved you. It's like no. I mean, it's like you're gorgeous and amazing, and hilarious, smart. As someone that knew Bobby for a while, and you came along, was like she is so. Like calm, like you just like move through the world with such like a calmness and a grace and whether it's from your trauma, the work you've done, or having been a nurse, whatever it is, you're just like water off things. Just like
here's what also when I date a girl, like I've had women that I've dated that aren't. She wasn't in the business, right? And when you introduce them to that world, they act cray cray.
Yeah.
Right. They don't know how to act. You know what I mean? You're at somebody's house that's like a celebrity or whatever, and they take selfies with them and post it online.
no.
Or that one girl I brought to the upfronts, and she gave her card to the president of Fox, saying that I'm a comedian. Right, and she's like, "What the fuck is this? This is a dinner, bitch." You know
Fox, and that's Fox News. Like,
yeah. That's Rupert Murdoch. Yeah, but my point is but she was the first girlfriend that I had that I thought, oh, she can navigate right in every social situation.
Yes.
A chameleon in many ways, and she could read.
But
I think it's trauma.
That's what we can both do. I mean, but people that can shape shift that easily based on the way they had to do it as a survival mechanism can also be very dangerous people.
Yeah.
She's able to shape shift and survive any situation you throw her in without being an inauthentic and full of shit person.
Yeah.
Because I used to sometimes conflate that and be like, oh, this person could just like be this person at this event and this person at this event, and then you're like, oh, you're just a sociopath. Like you were lying to me this
that
whole
is
time.
extremely scary. Like people who are able to kind of code switch on, immediate. Yes, I do understand.
But you know what you have to, we all know what we have to do to get through a party or whatever. But then you're authentic when you're not.
But can I say the greatest night when it solidified to me that you were the one was
10 years. You'll be the one for about 10 years.
Adam Sandler's Christmas party.
Wait, ice skating.
Yeah.
At the bowl, ice skating, and
where he had the band.
Hockey.
Were you there that night?
Pickwick.
Pickwick.
Yeah, Pickwick. Yeah,
He does it every year.
Yeah. So I went one year, and usually when I go to those events,
every year I get to go find out which actors are so short. My favorite thing to be like, Steven Dorff is like 5'1". I love this party.
Steven Dorff really that short?
Yeah.
So usually I go to those places, I'm there 15 minutes tops. I say hi to who I need to say hi to when I leave.
That party's a nightmare.
Nightmare. But with her, I went there. We were there for 5 hours. Just running around,
fun,
and giggling, and look at that person, and going to all the areas. And it was the first time where I went, I'm actually having a really good time in an environment that I dread usually, and that's when I knew this is gonna work. You know what I mean?
It's also interesting because I hear I don't know the answer because I am lone wolf is my energy, and it's not something that I totally, from what I understand, it would take a very long time to change. I don't know if I'm even interested in changing it. I wasn't socialized a lot as a child. I'm very good on my own. Like I'm an introvert by nature, which I did not know the definition of this until actually kind of recently, is that introvert and extrovert. Introvert is that you derive energy from being alone. And extrovert is you derive energy from socializing. I have friends that they'll go to one bar and they're like, let's go to another one. Let's go meet these people. And I'm like, aren't you exhausted? Like I have friends, they'll do a dinner and then a drinks and then they'll go to a late night. And I'm like, I'm always like, is that cocaine? Is it I'm exhausted. So, and it's nothing personal about the person. I just don't, I'm not, so I'm really like being alone. I'm like good at it.
Too.
I understand it. When someone else comes into the mix, I just like my ADD and perfectionism. It makes me kind of resent the person if I'm around them too much because I feel like I have to be on my best behavior all the time and I don't want to show them, I want to. I just like it's like this. Like the guy that I'm dating now, he's in my house and I go to make coffee and he's sitting there and I'm like, do I have to be like, do you want to do I have to offer? Because if I offer it, I have to always offer it.
Well, no.
I'm setting. Well, that's what I'm saying. But there's
You
this
have to set the
pressure
precedent,
when you're cohabiting or coexisting with someone. Every decision you are signing up to think about them every time you're doing something. And I am wired to really caretake.
Yeah.
So that's just.
Here's the thing, and you guys know, right? I've never done one.
You never did a special?
Never. Right.
It's funny now that you mentioned it. I'm like, oh, yeah, but you never even did like Comedy Central Presents or one of those.
No, never.
Really?
No. Yeah, I think I've done like late night. I did the Tonight Show back in the day, and I've done stuff just to establish myself as a stand-up.
Sure.
But half the tweets I get is like, "When are you going to do a special? Why don't you do a special?" Number one, it's like, and I don't want to make fun of people, because I'm not like a guy that like, you know what I mean? Because I know everyone's trying their best.
No, they're not.
I know.
What an LA thing of you to say. That's very nice. They're not trying their best.
Yeah.
They're fucking half-assed. I was talking to one of the kids that was opening for me in San Francisco this weekend, and I was like, because I'm working on this new hour, and I go, dude, I'm not putting it out till it's fucking ready. And I go, the audacity of some of these comics, the shit they're putting out that
Yeah.
they think it's okay. And this is their debut.
Yeah.
And they're putting it out themselves.
Yeah.
It's one thing, man. No motherfucker's going to say no if you're 2 years in and Netflix goes, here's $150,000 to do a special. No kid is going to go, no, I'm not ready. You're going to go, oh my God, my life is changing. But when you put it out yourself and you're like, this needs to be out there, and you're looking at this shit, you're like, you thought people needed this?
Yeah.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah, but I also don't equate my success. It's not linked to doing stand-up.
Right.
Right? Because I've made money my whole career and never done a special. And I've not just made little money. I've made great money. You know what I mean? I've survived, right? When I go on the road, and I'm sorry, but I sell out every ticket.
Why are you sorry?
I'm not sorry, but I'm just saying. And people are like, well, why don't you do a special? I go, I don't need to. I go to Chicago and Florida or anywhere, and I sell out in 5-10 minutes.
It's great.
Right? My point is that why? What is it? Right? So it's like, for me, it's like and I look at other people's specials, I want, like there's somebody, you may,
I know.
Yeah, there's somebody from a different country, right, who's a female. I saw that person, right?
One. Got it.
And I watched it. I got a couple years ago, and I watched it. Just listened, right? And I go, I don't even know at what part it's supposed to be funny.
Well, I'll say name. I'll name names.
Why? Why do you feel comfortable? You like?
Yeah,
because it hurts people's
Hannah
feelings.
Gadsby fucked the whole game.
I don't know who that is,
You don't
and I
know-
think she's great. I think she's great. I don't know who that is. That's what who else.
Hannah Gadsby fucked the whole
She's
game up.
great, and she's wonderful.
I'm not saying she has a bad message. I'm not saying
I like the message.
I liked her. I liked her until she got preachy about what other comics have to
What's
do.
wrong?
I hated her message. Her message was
All right, turn him up, I guess.
was to me that like comedy does not like surpass all, that you have to be depressed in the end. And
Well-
that was the message that like she ended with that I fucking hated. It's like so anti-comedy.
Well, yes, I could see. I think that's one perspective, right? Like, and I don't think that that's wrong necessarily, but I just mean like if you want to talk about how we should be more accepting and all these things, I think that's a nice thing to say. And I don't even have a problem with you saying it on a comedy special, and I don't have a problem with you even crying on your comedy. But my point is when I say she fucked the game up, she put this message. Once she got that swept up in all of it, then she started saying, if you're not, so first she does a special without punchlines really, and you go, okay, whatever. And I'm only saying this because she's arrogant. I'm not saying it to stir up.
I mean, that's the key. That's the key.
That is the key. If she never said shit and went, thank you guys, I'll see you in a couple years for my next one. And but she started going everywhere. If you do this, then you're not using and all that shit, and comics that do this suck and whatever, however she said it. So my point is this. She did a special that mostly lacked punchlines. When there were punchlines, they were weak. And then after that, she started preaching to people how they needed to do comedy. And she got a lot of press doing it. And she fucked the whole game up because she didn't fuck the game up. The game, it is what it is. There's room for all of us. I'm just saying, when you see this influx of these horseshit specials where somebody thinks that just because they have a point of view, whatever, and that's not the only horseshit. There's hack horseshit in all directions.
Yeah.
But the ones that really get a lot of shine right now are these like perspective specials. And they're just like, I don't know, man. If you want to do TED Talks, go do TED Talks. And here's why it pisses me off.
Yeah. Can you turn my mic up? I can't hear myself.
Here's why it pisses me off.
Yeah.
I got into comedy because I wanted to get into spoken word. I wanted to be Henry Rollins and Jello Biafra. That's what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I wanted to go on stage and read like essays that I wrote and shit. That were my opinions. And I was like, well, I can't do that because I never sang in a famous band. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody's going to listen. The closest thing to it is stand-up. So I guess I got to figure out how to be funny on stage. And it annoys me now that there are people being like, well, you don't have to. And it's like, no, you do. Hannah Gadsby doesn't have to because she caught lightning in a bottle.
Yeah. Also, it's when I watch it, I don't know, even if Netflix goes, we're going to give you one, but you have to do what they're doing. I'd just be like,
I don't know how.
Right.
Right? Because I play at the Comedy Store. You know what I mean? And I'm in front of beasts, right? And I have to kill, right? Because it's when you're following. There are nights where I had to follow Bill Burr, Rogan, all these guys back to back,
Ron White,
in a packed room, right?
Yeah.
And it's like I can't go. Oh wow, Asian hate. It's terrible, right?
Right.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But I can't do that. I have to go out there and go light my pubes on fire. You know what I mean? Or something.
Opening.
Yeah. I have to open with that. Yeah.
It's a two-headed beast, right? Because there's that side of it, which I've always said. I go, there's a pressure, man. When there's money involved, now there's pressure. You better deliver, and you can form very bad habits that way.
I have.
Dimitri, we all have.
Yeah.
Dimitri Martin said, like, I hope he doesn't mind that I'm quoting this, but he left the Comedy Cellar. He stopped performing there, and he went to the alt rooms, as they were called back in the day. And he said, "I'm forming bad habits."
At the Cellar?
Yeah.
Why?
Because you had to kill.
All right.
Now, I like the Cellar. I performed the Cellar, but there is a truth to that.
Dude, you literally just blew my mind right now.
Why?
That's what I need to do.
What?
I have to get out of the clubs.
Well, here.
You just literally, that's it. That's it.
You have the advantage. You can do that.
I don't know where to go.
You'll figure it out.
I don't know where to go.
That's the thing. Like you hit a certain point in this business where it's like you don't need to be doing 4 sets a night at the store anymore.
I do that every night.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, but you go on the road. It's like, I was talking to Dan Soder about this, and I was like, dude, I'm not doing sets on Tuesdays. I'm not doing sets on Mondays. Motherfucker, I'm not doing sets on Thursdays or Sundays or Wednesdays. I'm doing sets in the city on Friday or Saturday if I'm in town because those nights pay the most. And I'm not doing 6. I'm doing 2.
Yeah.
Because I'm going on the fucking road. This thing of you live on the stage, or it's such stupid fraternal horseshit. It's what you need to do in the beginning.
Yeah.
You don't need to do it for your whole career. And you're in a place of great advantage now because you can afford financially to go fuck around in a bookstore.
Yeah.
And just be like, who gives a fuck? I'm not getting paid. I can just fuck around and. But here's the other side of it. When you're coming up, and there's money involved, there's pressure. But you get money, so that's great. I remember talking to Kurt Braunohler and Kristen Shaw because they were alt kids, and the first time I met them was at
Who's Kurt Braunohler?
Kurt Braunohler is a comic who co-hosts Hot Tub with Kristen at the Virgil every week, and he's great. He's very funny. But the first time I met them was at a club called Comics in New York that's also gone. And they were like, we were very young, and they were like, this is cool. Like, you work here. Like, and I was like, yeah. And they were like, we're trying to get over here to, like, make money. And I was like, I'm trying to get to where you are. I'm tired of fucking, I'm afraid to try shit because I worry about fucking the show up or whatever, you know? Like, so the grass is always greener. But my point is when you get to a certain level that you're much more famous or whatever than I am. But like my point is we're still both at the level where it's like you don't have to go sit at the mercy of a club and all, you don't have to do it anymore.
Right. But you also, right, like when the other day I had this feeling. I drove down Sunset and I saw this gigantic photo of Joe Coy. It's Easter Sunday Joe Coy, right?
Right.
And I went, ah! You know what I mean? I looked at it, right? And I went, and immediately when I see that, because him and I started together, I'm like, I always go back to myself like, why aren't you there? What happened to you? You know what I mean? You don't sell the tickets he sells. But then I say to myself, yeah, but I don't want to be you two. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to be Fugazi.
I say that all the time.
You know, I want to be the Pixies. I want to be like, I want to have my audience to be furious and into me, right? But I don't want to do stadiums.
I say it all the time. I say the exact same thing, and I use Fugazi as the example.
No.
I swear to you.
Yeah.
I say Katy Perry and Fugazi. I do.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
That's the difference, yeah.
Yeah, but like, but that's Joe. That Joe was always, and I always said, I know you're not knocking him.
I'm not knocking him.
Neither am I. But like, and I always said, And that's what gets me mad about. Look, God bless Hannah Gadsby. Do your thing, but I hate when comics tell everybody it's all about this, because we're not all in the same lane. We're just not. And I hate that not every comic, but I hate that the majority of comics think that they're all gunning for a Grammy Award. You're not. A lot of you are gangster rappers. You know what I mean? A lot of you are MC Hammers. A lot of you are pop stars. A lot of you are rock bands. Dude, I'm doing the fucking...
What band are you?